let's start with life in Makkah. So for life in Makkah, we have 13 years that we need to cover, and all the details that were a part of these first 13 years of prophethood. We'll do that, and we'll also study how Prophet is linked with Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, and who were the ancestors of Nabi Kareem, and so on and so forth. So there's a lot of detail that we need to cover. And 13 years to abhi baad mein hi aayenge. Abhi to we are starting off with the birth and with the ancestors of Prophet, peace be upon him. So we can say that Prophet is a direct descendant of Hazrat Ismail alayhi salam, and Prophet's grandfather Abdul Muttalib was an important member of Quraysh. So we need to remember that Prophet belonged to the tribe of Quraysh, and his grandfather Abdul Muttalib had a prominent leadership position amongst Quraysh, and he was the most honored chief. We're talking about Abdul Muttalib, who was the grandfather of Nabi Kareem. Abdul Muttalib was assigned the responsibilities of Al-Sikhaya and Al-Rifada, that is providing food and water to the pilgrims of sacred Kaaba. So before prophethood and before the entire process of revelation that began, we already had Kaaba back then. So Kaaba was the site of pilgrimage for people, but in a different manner. Kaaba was surrounded with so many idols, and Prophet was never an idol worshipper, but his grandfather. They also followed the Sharia of Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, but there were many idols, and Quraysh was a tribe which used to worship idols. Okay? So you need to remember that Nabi Kareem never worshipped idols, nor did his grandfather worship idols. But he was a chief because he had this prominent leadership amongst his tribe, amongst Quraysh. So he was responsible to provide food and water to the pilgrims because they used to visit Kaaba as it had many idols. Okay? Then you need to remember that Abdul Muttalib raised Prophet, restored the foundation of Zamzam. So number one, he raised Prophet. Number two, he restored the foundation of Zamzam and had dialogue with Abraha, who came to destroy Kaaba. So there comes
Ma'am,
this 4 marks. Ishal, please wait. So there comes this 4-mark question for Abdul Muttalib. What was the role of Abdul Muttalib in the life of Nabi Kareem, or something like this, that how Abdul Muttalib has a significant position in the Islamic community. So when we answer that question, we need to write all of this. Okay, Abdul Muttalib had a prominent leadership amongst Quraysh, number one. Number two, he was an honored chief. Number three, he was responsible for Safaya and Al Rifada, which means that he used to provide food and water. Then he raised Prophet, and then he restored the foundation of Zamzam, which is so he restored its foundation, and he had a dialogue with Abraha, who came to destroy Kaaba. So this will come for 4-mark question. This is not a question, or this is not a detail for a 10-mark question. And you do not get the question for 10 marks, especially for Abdul Muttalib. Okay? Then Prophet's father Abdullah had passed away before his birth during a return journey from business tour to Syria. He fell ill at Yasrib. We'll talk about Yasrib in detail because Yasrib is the old name of Medina. So previously Medina was known as Yasrib. So he fell ill and died before the birth of Nabi Kareem, and he left few camels, goats, and a slave girl, Ayman. So this is important information. Nabi Kareem's father Abdullah passed away before his birth, and he left few camels, goats, and a slave girl, Ayman. Then, when Prophet was born to Amna, Abdul Muttalib named him Muhammad and said, so this is a reference that's now coming up because this is a direct saying of Abdul Muttalib, who was the grandfather of Nabi Kareem. I have named him Muhammad so that his name may be praised on the earth and in heavens. Okay? So this is also an important aspect that you can write for Abdul Muttalib if the question comes. Okay, how is the role of Abdul Muttalib, the grandfather of Nabi Kareem, significant? It's significant in many ways. We have talked about all the ways, and the last but not the least, that he named Nabi Kareem. And what did he say upon naming Nabi Kareem as Muhammad? That he named him Muhammad so that his name may be praised on the earth and in heavens. Then we'll
Ma'am,
study. So then we will talk about the conditions of Arabia. Okay, we have already mentioned that Nabi Kareem and his family were not the idol worshippers. But what exactly were the conditions of Arabia before the birth of Nabi Kareem and after even the birth of Nabi Kareem? That it was not in good shapes. Why was not in it not in good shapes? Because people had forgotten the message of Allah Subhanahu wa Taala and they were lost in polytheism, which means that they had many gods and they were sunk in ignorance. Why were they sunk in ignorance? Because there was no justice. They were not following any one god. Each tribe had different gods. They were idol worshippers. And Kaaba was filled with idols, and this is why different people used to come as pilgrims to worship different sort of idols, because they were not following just one idol; they were following so many idols. So they had no moral code, and we call this era as age of jahiliyyah or age of ignorance. That Arabia was not in a good condition. They used to worship stones and trees. So some people were worshipping idols, some were worshipping stones, some were worshipping trees, and they did not believe in life after death. So this is an important article of faith, that we believe in, that there is life after death, and after death we'll come again. We'll be held accountable for whatever we have done in this world, and after that um, our um, our anjam or our destination will be decided, that are we going to paradise or are we going to hell. So they did not believe in life after death, and widows and orphans were oppressed, and slaves were treated cruelly. Drinking and gambling was common. Women were treated as articles of trade. They could be bought and sold at will. Also, a man married as many women as he could afford. And sons used to inherit their father's wives, and stepmothers could be made legal wives, and daughters, when born, were burnt, buried alive. So there was no law, and each tribe was governed by their own chief. So imagine the chaotic environment of Arabia before the birth of Nabi Kareem and even after the birth of Nabi Kareem, because Nabi Kareem was given prophethood at the age of 40. So up till the age of 40, he was raised in such ignorance. He was a part of such ignorance. Like, he did not follow any of this, but imagine the chaotic environment he had seen. Imagine how unjustly Arabia was treated, and how they were sunk in ignorance, that they all the tribes had their different chiefs. They were following different gods. Imagine if we were like this. There was no, there if there was no justice, or if all of us start believing in idols, or start worshipping stones or trees, or imagine if the daughters were born. It still happens in this day and age. When daughters are born, they're buried alive. So this was a common practice of Arabia, that there was like no rules and regulations, and a man used to marry as many times as he want, and sons used to inherit their father's wife, which can't be done in Islam, obviously. So this was how Arabia shaped in ignorance. Okay, if we talk about birth and upbringing of Nabi Kareem, so Prophet was given to Halima Sadia. So a question usually comes on this as well. Okay, write the importance of Halima Sadia in the life of Nabi Kareem. So this is again a 4-mark question. Halima Sadia once. Okay. Prophet was given to Halima Sadia, a Bedouin woman, when he was born. Amina bint Wahab, the mother of Muhammad, was waiting for the arrival of Banu Sa'd. The women within the tribe of Banu Sa'd were foster mothers. So this question, you need to highlight that Halima Sadia was the foster mother of Nabi Kareem, while Amna bint Wahab was the actual biological mother of Nabi Kareem. ठीक है, and Halima Sadia belonged to the tribe of Banu Sa'd. And this was a tradition in the Arabia community that when children were born, they were given to foster mothers so that they could learn the classical Arabic and other skills. And when they used to grow up, they were returned to their biological mothers. So this was their tradition. Okay. And why would this happen? You need to also write this, that they would take their children of Makkah to the desert and teach them classical Arabic and other skills, because Arabia, the entire Arabia was a desert. So the children of Arabia needed to learn important skills in order to survive in that desert. Okay, and in return, they would receive a salary from the family of the child in Makkah. So Halima's husband was Al Haris bin Abdul Uzza. Her son was named Abdullah, while the daughters were named Unaisa and Hudayfa. So if you're following Farhana Noor's book, then you'll not find this much detail, I believe. I think I have written it from some other book, some other reference book. So अगर याद करना चाहें, so it's for your own good. अगर नहीं भी याद होता, तो it's all okay. It's okay if you are unable to memorize or learn the family tree of Halima Sadia. But whatever I am highlighting in this passage, it's important and should be a part of your script if the question comes for the importance of Halima Sadia. ठीक है. So while traveling to Makkah, she was unable to feed her child because her she-camel stopped lactating. And in Makkah, all those looking for foster children rejected taking care of orphan Muhammad because they feared not getting paid on account of his father being dead. Halima felt sad that every woman in her tribe had received a child except her. So what happened? All these women of Banu Saad, they were Bedouin women, and they got a child from Makkah, right? And why were they responsible? Because they used to get money, or they used to get salary against taking care of the child. So Halima Sadia was sad because she did not get any child in Makkah, and people of Banu Saad, they didn't want Nabi Kareem because they thought that since Nabi Kareem is an orphan, and since Nabi Kareem is an orphan, so who is going to pay, or who is going to pay the salary? So and so this is the condition which is being made, that Halima Sadia did not get any child, and people rejected Nabi Kareem because they feared that they'll not get the salary since Nabi Kareem was an orphan. Okay, so now Halima Sadia told her husband Al Haris. So this is important. This is a reference, and this is basically the saying of Halima Sadia, that by God, I do not like the idea of returning with my friends without a child. I'll go and take that orphan. Since Halima Sadia did not get any child, and she did not like this idea that she'll return to her tribe without getting a child, she decided to go and take Nabi Kareem. So her husband agreed immediately. After accepting him, blessings came to her and her family. So when you'll write about birth and upbringing of Nabi Kareem for a 10-mark question, you'll write all of these details, that how Halima Sadia took Nabi Kareem, and how Nabi Kareem was rejected by everyone, and how when she accepted Nabi Kareem, blessings came to her and her family. We're talking about Halima Sadia over here, that when she took Nabi Kareem, she was blessed with so many things, and we'll talk what blessings she got. Her husband's flock during a time of great famine was healthy and producing milk, while the rest of the people's flocks were dying. So this is the number one blessing, that there was famine at that time and flocks were dying, but the flocks of Halima Sadia's husband, they flourished and they continued to produce milk, while the rest of the people's flocks were dying. And when we're talking about Nabi Kareem over here, when he was 2 years old, Halima took him to Amna and insisted that she let him remain with her, to which she relented. And then you'll talk about this strange incident which happened after a few months. A strange and mysterious event happened a few months later, when Muhammad's foster brother was playing alone. As the Prophet was not like other kids and did not play much, then suddenly Halima and her husband saw their son Muhammad's foster brother, who came running back and shouted, this is also important, two men dressed in white grabbed my brother and cut his chest. So then Halima and Al Haris ran to Muhammad and found him pale faced. When they asked him what happened, he said, "Two men came and opened my chest and took a portion of it." So, after this event, she gave up fostering him and informed his mother about what had happened. Prophet Muhammad had highest regard for her and used to call her "my mother." So, this is important that that Halima Sadia was called "my mother" by Nabi Kareem, and that Halima Sadia brought Prophet back at the age of 6 and handed over to his mother Amna, who took him to Yasrab to visit the grave of his father, but during return journey, Amna died and was buried at Abba. Prophet Muhammad was brought back to Makkah by Ayman. She was the slave girl of Prophet's father Abdullah. She brought Nabi Karim back to Makkah, and then Abdul Muttalib, the grandfather of Nabi Karim, took the charge of his grandson. And this did not last for long. After 2 years, when Nabi Karim was 8 years old, he also passed away. Then Abdul Muttalib, who was the uncle of Nabi Karim, took charge of Prophet and raised him like his own son. Hazrat Muhammad ﷺ began to show signs of intelligence and was an owner of a peaceful nature. At the age of 12, so these ages are very important. At the age of 6, Nabi Karim's mother died. At the age of 8, Nabi Karim's grandfather died. And at the age of 12, Nabi Karim accompanied Abu Talib um, on a trade journey. Abu Talib was the uncle of Nabi Karim who raised him like his own son on a trade journey to Syria, where on way they met Christian monk Bahira. This is an important name, and this is a very important incident which should be a part of birth and upbringing when you write about it. Christian monk Bahira, who recognized Hazrat Muhammad's sign of prophethood, so he advised Abu Talib to not take his nephew too far in Syria. And this was because Jews of Syria would recognize Nabi Karim and they would try to harm him. And during Prophet's youth, he worked as a shepherd. So this is a very important question that often comes. Ke, how was Nabi Karim raised and how was his upbringing? So you'll write about everything. You'll write about the incident of how Halima Sadia did not get any child and how she accepted the orphan Nabi Karim. And as soon as she accepted Nabi Karim, she was blessed with so many blessings that her flocks flourished. They produced good amount of milk, and she also saw a few strange and mysterious events, like she saw Nabi Karim was pale faced. And why was he pale faced? Because two men, these were two angels that came up to Nabi Karim and they opened up the chest of Nabi Karim and took a portion of it. So this is not a mysterious event, this is a miracle which happened with Nabi Karim, and these were like the signs which were confirming the fact that Nabi Karim is the last messenger of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So these were the signs which were coming up since his birth. So then you'll write how how Halima Sadia did not give Nabi Karim back at the age of 2 when she was supposed to, and this is why Nabi Karim stayed with Halima Sadia up till the age of 6. And then at the age of 6, she returned Nabi Karim to his mother Amna, and during a journey to Yasrab, Amna, the mother of Nabi Karim, died and was buried. Then Nabi Karim was brought back by Ayman. She was the slave girl of Abdullah, who was the father of Nabi Karim. And then Abdul Muttalib became the guardian of Prophet and took charge of him for the upcoming 2 years. By the age of 8, he died. Then Abu Talib, the uncle of Nabi Karim, took the charge of Nabi Karim. And at the age of 12, Abu Talib took Nabi Karim to Syria for a trade journey where they met this Christian monk Bahira. Because after this, we'll study about Maisara. So I used to get confused between Bahira and Maisara. So try to remember that Bahira was a Christian monk who recognized the signs of prophethood with Prophet. And he advised Abu Talib to not take Nabi Karim far into Syria, because the Jews of Syria could also confirm the signs of Nabi Karim, because all those signs were written in their books. So with this fear, he did not take far into Syria and they returned. So during his youth, during his entire youth, Nabi Karim worked as a shepherd. So this is like the solid 10 on 10 mark question for birth and upbringing. If talk about birth and upbringing, then write all the details. Okay, do not miss out any of the reference. All of these are very important.